Welcome back to the channel. Today we are painting another HackFab Losi Mini T body. This one's an EDM, so this is going to be a tricky one. EDMs are like sprint cars. They're multi-piece bodies, sides, roof, hood scoop, and a deck metal or a deck, and a front nose spoiler. We're going to come up with something cool here, I think. I'm not sure exactly yet because we're still winging it. But when we get this thing all wrapped up, this will be available on our eBay page. I will share a link once it's all done. This one is going to be sold to raise a little bit of funds to buy some electronics for all this stuff that we got to build. These cars were donated by my buddy at OAS Custom Classics. He does restoration and custom stuff on real cars. And we got two of these. We got one we're going to paint and another one we're going to sell in a separate auction. But either way, stay tuned and let's see what we come up with. Alright, we started doing some sketches here, and I know I was going to kind of cut back on fine line stuff, but it's going to be easier to do it on this body just because of all these flat panels. So I could do this with liquid mask and cut it out, or I could do it basically with regular masking tape if I wanted to. There's just a little bit more risk involved using masking tape, because if I were to mask all this out with just straight masking tape and hand cut everything, you got to be super careful not to cut through it and score the body, especially on the sides. If you cut into that and it scores it and you get in a wreck, you're going to break your quarter panel off. So I'm going to lay all this out with 1/16 inch fine line like I've been doing in the past. I did scuff the inside of this body up. I don't do them all, but for whatever reason, I felt like doing this one. So we scuffed this one up with a gray Scotch-Brite pad, just kind of lightly. And that'll help with the little adhesion. But anyways, let's get some tape on it, and then we'll come back and start spraying some paint. Alright guys, we're back. Haven't got a lot of masking done yet, but I think we're going to risk it. I said earlier we were going to use fine line, but we're going to do this freehand. It won't be as crisp and perfect as using the fine line tape, but it's being done by hand. So I'm going to go around all these graphics and pull out the center section. The center section is going to be the body color. And then once we get that pulled out, we'll have to go back around these graphics again for our outline. And I just used this FBS gold tape. This is masking tape that's 18 inches wide, and it's got a backer, so you just cut it and peel it. I think you can use this stuff on a plotter too, but it's really thin, so you gotta be careful. It'll cut through the paper all the way with your plotter. I haven't tried this on a Cricut machine yet, but it might be worth trying. Same thing on the sides, and we got matching graphics. We're gonna cut all the stripes out and then pull this section out. This will be the body color. Obviously, the body's up here. And then we'll do something, not sure down here, but I think we're gonna do a black and purple. It's gonna be two of our main colors. And then probably have some hot pink in there, of course. All right, we've got our two sides done for the most part. I haven't done the pinstripe yet. We just got the basic outline of our graphic. Whoever wins this on the auction, no warranties. I hope it don't break in half. So I think we'll be okay. I'm not really pushing on this really hard. You got to be really careful not to score the body. That's the good thing with this tape here. It's not much thicker than actual like using liquid mask. It's very transparent and very thin. It almost feels like a rice paper. And just minimal pressure cuts it pretty easy. So we're gonna try not to get too crazy here. I've only had two bodies that I can even remember in all of my many years of painting bodies. I've actually scored them one too deep and getting damaged in a race. And one of them just happened to be some little kid's Christmas present, and the whole door broke off of his dirt late model. And he was kind of heartbroken on that deal. But we fixed it. Anyways, there's our graphic. I'm going to come back in and cut this intersection. I'm going to go ahead and spray this before I cut the outlines, because at this point it doesn't matter, because you can still see the tape even with paint on it, so you won't lose your lines. Unlike liquid mask when it's clear and you spray paint over it, the whole thing becomes that color, so you kind of lose where you're at. I do anyways. I will do a liquid mask body in the future, but for now, here we are on this little EDM. As far as colors, I think we're going to go with a purple. I was thinking black, purple, pink, somewhere around there. So we're going to go with the Fast Essence Fast Purple. Fast Essence Purple. It's like a pearl purple color. And we're going to do all of our drop shadows around the graphics. Pick this up at Hobby Lobby, this little honeycomb. I'm sure I could cut these on the Cricut machine. I hadn't tried it yet. I'll do that in the future. We're going to spray through this just to add a little texture to the back of the body, make it look more like a wrap. And we're mimicking a wrap, but we're actually using paint. So we're going to get on there and start spraying some black, and then, yeah, get this thing done. All right, guys, we're going to start with our black, using Wicked Black, no particular reason. It's a pretty good color. It's not blue or gray looking. Just doing a little drop shadow action. All right, we got our shadows on there. I went back and added a little bit to them. They look a little bold right now, but it'll all come together once it's all said and done. The color we're using is pretty dark, so it'll all work out. Just going to simply lay this little pattern over here. This thing got wrinkled a little bit, but we're just doing it for a reference. We're not really... It don't have to be completely flat, is what I'm trying to say. We're just using it for a stencil. Kind of a blow through. I might put a piece of tape on that just to hold it in place. That way I can kind of pull it taut with my other hand and spray with my other hand. Alright, we're just going to spray a little bit through here just to get a kind of a ghosty image of the honeycomb style stuff. Seems to be kind of a hot thing right now. Well, it's been hot for a while, but we want to get it somewhat straight anyways. Up a little fade job. There's our ghosty honeycombs. We're going to do the same thing on both quarter panels. I might be able to tape to it. I don't want to tape to the outside too much because I do have a film on there. I don't want to pull it off. Not doing much. It may lay there long enough for me to do it. Planty right there. These are honeycomby quarter. Let's see if we can do it again over here and be somewhat consistent. There's enough of that. Yeah. It looks kind of bad because you see all these scratches and stuff. That's where I Scotch-Brighted the body, but all that'll go away once we put color on it. But there you go. There's our drop shadows, honeycomb. I may go back and just do a little shadow around the windows just to give it that candy effect. And then we'll start spraying some purple. All right, we're going to jump right into some purple. Right over our black drop shadows. want to sneak up on it. You don't need to put it all on there at one time. This is the aggravating part about these bodies of being multiple pieces. That's why most people do wrap them. Nose spoiler on a stick. And our roof. Alright, there's one coat. We're going to let that dry up. Probably put at least 2 more on it, and then we'll back this with a silver to make it more, a little more vibrant. And then once we get that done, we'll start trimming our outlines for our graphics, because we have to do all of our outlines by hand. And then we may go ahead and spray the outlines depending on the color we go with. So definitely going to be some pink involved. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back. All right, we've got our all of our graphics outlined. I just did this freehand. I didn't film it. We just went around and got a little stylistic, went a little bit wider than you would normally with the fine line tape. Did it on all the panels, and so we're good to go. I'm thinking I'm going to do shades of pink, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go with our tried and true medium blue, petty blue, the big bottle of blue. All right, we got all of our what's going to be pink laid out and pulled out. We're going to do 2 shades of pink. We're going to do a fluorescent raspberry faded with fluorescent pink. We're going to hit all the edges of the graphics with the darker color and then come directly back over it with the hot pink. And once that's all said and done, we'll back it up with white. And when we do, we're going to paint this rear spoiler white. And I do believe that we're going to paint the spoiler on the roof white to tie it together. And yeah, let's get to moving here. I didn't leave myself a lot of room. There's our fade job. All right, there we go. We're going to hit that one more time with the magenta or the raspberry, and then we're going to come right back over with the fluorescent pink, and then we'll be ready to back it up. Got it dried up, and we're going to go straight into the fluorescent pink. All we're going to do is basically now is just fill in the blank spaces, and then once we get a couple coats of pink on there, we'll be ready to pull this off and back everything with white, and we're one step closer. All right, there's our fancy fade. It'll look better once we get it all together, get this film off of it. But you will see a distinct 2 colors, or at least a shade of it. So we're going to hop off, get the rest of the pink on here, and then we'll peel it off and start spraying our white. All right, we got everything pinked out, and I went ahead and cut around the back quarter glass. We're going to do white around that. The full scale cars don't have windows, so we're not going to really do a trim around the window on the side glass. We got our spoiler peeled out, and went ahead and pulled the sides of the front nose piece because that's technically a spoiler, so we'll have white edges along with the white spoilers on the roof and the back of the deck. So it all tie together when we're all said and done. Once we get that done, we're down to this bottom section, and then we'll be wrapping this thing up. All right, I fibbed a little bit. I got to looking at it, and I think it needed a little white around the side windows, so it's not scale, but it'll look all right. I think it'll look better. I think the without putting white around that window, it might look the back window might look a little lost. There you go. I think it all ties together. All right. I think if you've made it this far in the video, you realize why people get these bodies wrapped. Because you're basically painting like 5 bodies in one. So we're going to get this dry and decide what we're going to do with the bottom. And then we'll be ready to wrap this thing up. All right, we got our white backing on and we got our bottom color peeled out. I've been sitting here debating on what color to use. I even thought about even doing maybe a zebra design, but that's too late now. We didn't pull all the tape out. We're going to keep it simple, but a little bit different. I've got some vintage fast pearl purple. This is just a pearl coat. It's kind of a mica. We'll put one light coat of that, and then we'll back that with white, so it'll have kind of a flip-flop pearl purple white that will go along with our pearl purple body color, and I think that'll look pretty cool. So I see one little edge here I'm going to clean up right quick, and then come back. We're going to spray some of that pearl on there, maybe one light coat, and then immediately back it with white, and we'll be pretty much done with this thing. We'll just have to back everything with gray once we're all said and done. So we'll be right back. All right, we're ready to spray, and I wouldn't be surprised if this stuff right here is not 20 plus years old. I've had several bottles of it on my rack forever. The lid's even starting to yellow, but it hasn't been frozen, so it's still good. That's the beauty of water paint. But you don't want to use much of this because it is very strong, so just a light coat. I had somebody say that my air compressor was quiet. They never heard it before. Actually, that was compressor kicking on. It's a shop compressor, and it's quite noisy. But anyways, we got our pearl on there. You can kind of see the pearl flop. It's fast change purple. I thought it was fast pearl, but it's fast change. You can kind of see the flop without even putting the white behind it. But you can tell if you get too much of it on there, it's going to start getting a little creamy looking. So that's one coat. I'm going to get this dry, and then just going to back it with white, and then we're pretty much done. All right, there we go. I'm going to get this dry. We're going to go ahead and spray it all gray on the backside because this body, you can see the inside of it, and I think it'll look a little nicer with it all one color on the inside. So we'll get that sprayed, come back, and we'll do an unveil. All right, guys, that's a wrap for today's video. And now, for the most satisfying part of painting your body is getting this film off. But we got it times 6 because these are 6 panels. Like I said earlier, you can see why these bodies are wrapped because it's basically painting 6 bodies. But at the end, we got something pretty unique here. Very cool. Got our honeycombs at the back. Can't really see it on the camera, can you? But got our honeycomb action in the back. Got our pearl purple. It ain't really coming in real good on the camera, but there's one panel. And the deck metal is probably one of the coolest panels. It almost looks like a pit board. We can get it started. It's already half started. There's our deck, and you can kind of see the honeycomb in there a little bit more, maybe. I can see it anyways. And here you go. We got that. The roof is just purple, so nothing super exciting to see here. We got a purple roof with a white spoiler. Same with the hood scoop. I didn't really show painting the hood scoop because it's just purple. Our front nose spoiler. We got our white side pieces. They kind of go along with the white on the end of the roof and the deck. And last but not least, our other side. There you go. Now I'm going to carefully screw this thing together so we can get a closing shot of the car all in one piece. And there you go. Pretty cool. I like it. Alright guys, going to pop back in real quick. There's your body all in one piece. Got a little overzealous here and got one little scratch right there, so that's okay. I learned, and I put a little piece of tape on this side. We got on a little bit too soon. It's still fresh. I literally just finished painting this, so we probably should have waited for a day or two before we tried to put it together. But it's together. It's a shame all that deck metal is covered up with the roof. But there you go. The car is going to be on eBay. It's untested. I really don't know a whole lot about it. I know it's got a lot of hop-ups. It's got some aluminum hot racing stuff, hot racing motor plate, brushless setup. It does appear to have the ball diff and the MIP upper shaft or top shaft, aluminum shocks, Savox servo. This receiver, I have no idea what it is. It's just looks like some Amazon style radio. It's got a Yeah Racing fan on the motor. Hack Fab chassis. No scratches. It's got some 3D printed rear arms that appear to be a different toe. They're not adjustable, but they're different. And it's got CVDs. It's got aluminum hub carriers in the rear and the front, so it's got a lot of hop-ups on it. And like I said, Steve from OES donated this to help the channel. We're going to sell these two cars. We have two of them. The other one's not quite as tricked out as this one. But this one will be up first, and we're putting it on eBay, and I will put the link in the description. So if you want your chance to win this or purchase this, it'll be on eBay. So thanks again. Hit that subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Thought we were done. We're back again. I'm going to give a special shout out to my brother. Looking forward to him when he coming back to run with us once he gets retired from the military. He's got a pretty good knack for painting the body himself. And check that out. He's been playing with his cricket machine too. And I guess he's got a little inspired from some of our videos. So check him out. He's Mike Races on Instagram and on TikTok. And we'll be putting this on that R5 back there, and we'll be doing some track time on this thing in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that also. It's about race season. So thanks again. There you go.